I'm Rolene Marks. This is the Israel Brief, your one-stop shop for those top stories hot off the presses and on your device from Israel. And as always, we're brought to you by Lay of the Land. So before we head off into the weekend for a well-deserved rest, let's take a look at those top stories. And we begin with news that President Biden is set to visit Israel next month on the 14th and 15th of July. Now, included in his itinerary will be a visit to the Palmachim military base. And what is going to happen there, you ask? Well, a demonstration of Israel's new laser beam system, which is really a game changer in the region. In fact, it is designed to shoot with a laser any incoming rockets, missiles, or unmanned aerial vehicles, also known as drones. Now, the military is expected to ask President Biden for funding. However, it is no secret that the military is also speaking to other funders because this project, which is hopefully going to be ready in the next couple of years, is quite expensive to run. The IDF is also looking to deepen ties with the US military. Now, we have been speaking a lot about Ben & Jerry's, and I don't know about you, but I remember a time when ice cream really wasn't political. But today, the ice cream company, or at least their holding company, is back in the news for very interesting reasons. Now, Unilever, who is the holding company for Ben & Jerry's, is being sued in a class action suit. What the proposed class action says is that Unilever withheld information about the fact that, or rather mishandled their decision to allow Ben & Jerry's to stop selling their ice cream in what they call the occupied territories, that is the West Bank and East Jerusalem, areas that we know as Judea and Samaria. Now, according to this proposed class action, they say that the handling of this, the withholding of this information, knowing full well that many states will divest from companies that support anti-Israel boycotts, was not put forward. Very, very irresponsible indeed. As many of you know who have been following the story, many states, in fact 35 states across the United States, have anti-BDS laws, and many of them have already enacted their anti-BDS legislation and have threatened to withdraw their pension fund, which amounts to millions and hundreds of millions of dollars. The governor of the state of New York has put Unilever on notice and has warned them that if this does not change soon, they will withdraw their pension fund, which is quite close to $200 million. So this is going to be a very, very interesting one to watch, especially since Unilever, knowing full well what the circumstances or what the consequences of this decision would be, stood behind Ben & Jerry's when they made that controversial announcement. So as you can expect, we will be following the story quite closely, and as we know more, you'll know more. And now for a story you really couldn't make up. Yesterday, Russia's foreign ministry summoned the Israeli ambassador to Moscow for a formal reprimand. The reprimand was with regards to an IAF airstrike on Damascus airport, which damaged a runway and some radar devices. A Russian foreign ministry spokesperson said that the concern is that this strike on Damascus airport could cause harm to civilian aircrafts and civilians. I guess if there ever was a case of the pot calling the kettle black, that would be it. One would want to remind Russia of their actions in Ukraine for the last couple of months. And our final story takes us to the Gaza Strip, and following an assessment by the COGAT unit, that is the unit in the IDF that is responsible for the coordination of help and coordination of relations between the Gaza Strip and various other territories. After security assessment carried out there, a decision has been taken to increase the amount of work permits for Gazans coming into Israel for work by 2000. This brings a total of 14,000 work permits that have been allocated to Gazan laborers in the Gaza Strip. The decision was approved by Israel's Defense Minister Benny Gantz. And that brings us to the end of today's broadcast. But don't forget that if you want to check out our original content, you can do so on our website at www.layoftheland.online. Our Facebook community is at Lottel's site. Please check us out, see where we are for Shabbat tomorrow. Send us a Shabbat Shalom greeting, share our content. We really appreciate it when you do that. Our YouTube channel is at The Israel Brief. That's at The Israel Brief. And if you can, please hit that red subscribe button, because that helps us get the news from Israel out to as many people as possible. And don't forget to invite your friends to come along as well. And we're on Twitter. You can find us at Lay of the Land 5. That's at Lay of the Land 5. So from all of us to all of you, we wish you a peaceful, a safe and a healthy weekend. Shabbat Shalom. But don't forget, I'm Rolene Marks. This is the Israel Brief. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again on Monday.